Hello, and welcome back to the Tea and Soju C-Drama podcast, your safe spot for C-Drama chatter. I'm your host, Liliana, and it's time to sit back, grab your tea, and let's chat Asian dramas. In today's episode, we have a very special episode. People have asked for this, and I have been racking my brain on a way to bring this episode to you guys, and it took me a little while, but today we are going to be doing an OST episode and the OST singers that bring magic to our screens. So that's what this episode's going to be about. Just some housekeeping. If you like the podcast, please like, share, and subscribe on the platform you listen to. That really helps the podcast reach other listeners. For more content, check out Patreon, where you can find behind the scenes, first impressions, movie reviews, and more. Finally, if you would like to chat to me or find a community, check out Discord, Instagram, and other socials. The link is in the episode notes. So, I'm actually really excited about this episode. I feel like this episode has been one that I've been working on for a while. It took me, let's just say, to plan it. It probably took me about 4 hours just to put the information together for it. So I had a lot of fun. But the problem is, so basically, if you're using Spotify or even if you're using YouTube, a lot of the songs that you want to talk about, the titles are all in English, and then you have to sort of cross-reference and make sure that you're putting in the right song that you want to talk about. And even the artists on Spotify, a lot of the Chinese artists, the name that they are under is like the characters, so it's their Chinese name. It's not like spelt in the English alphabet or the Roman alphabet, whatever you want to call it. So it was a little bit tricky, but I got there in the end. I sat down yesterday and I had a coffee and I basically listened to OST songs for the whole afternoon. And because I wanted to make sure that every single song that I talk about in this episode is in the Tea and Soju podcast OST playlist over on Spotify. So I can't play them because, I don't want this episode to be flagged for, what's the word I'm looking for, infringing on, copyrights or whatever it may be. So I can't play the songs, but they are all there and you can find them all there. So that was the only way that I could kind of think of, because 2 years ago, I did an OST episode, and at that time, so the platform that I used to distribute the podcast was called Anchor at the time. That was bought out by Spotify, and it went from Spotify for podcasters to now Spotify for creators or whatever it may be. It's been through a couple of changes over, the years. And especially ever since Spotify has bought it out, it has changed quite a lot from what Anchor used to be in the beginning. And basically, when it was just Anchor, you had this ability to edit, and even on when it was first bought out by Spotify, you could still do this, where you could record and edit everything on the Anchor app, and it was lovely because it was super easy. Everything was in one place, and one of the features was that you could record a little bit and then you could add in a song from Spotify. The only downfall would be that that podcast episode would only be available on Spotify. But basically, you could do really nice OST songs because you could like talk about the song that you wanted to, and then play that song, and it worked out really well. So my first ever OST episode that I did is like that. I talk about the song and then I play the song, and it took me a little while to figure that out, to do that episode. It was not easy, but it worked out really well. It ended up being a really nice episode. And ever since I put that one episode, whenever I ask for episode suggestions, which, guys, if you have any episode suggestions, feel free to drop me a message, whether it be a comment on Spotify, whether it be, message anywhere on any of the socials, an email, whatever you feel most comfortable with, please do so, because I keep a list of every idea that gets sent through to me. And sometimes when I'm feeling a little bit out of inspiration or wherever it may be, I pick at those ideas. So feel free to always send those in. But like I said, I did that episode, and every time that I ask for like episode suggestions, people always bring up they want an OST episode. They really want an OST episode. But there's no way I can do that again because Spotify has changed completely the way that basically that original app that I used to use for, the podcast distribution and all of the editing and everything has changed. So now you can't even edit episodes on there. It's now called Spotify for Creators, and you can't actually edit anything. You have to upload fully ready episodes, which means that I can't play the songs anymore. So I was like racking my brain, and I was like, how am I going to do an OST episode where I can't play the songs. All I can do is like mention them. So I sat with it for a little bit, and I decided that the way that I was going to do this was that it was simple. I was going to talk about the people that bring us these OST songs because I feel like they are the unsung heroes, no pun intended, the unsung heroes of, any sort of drama distribution or any sort of drama community. We don't always know who brings us the OSTs. So I kind of went and did research, hence my almost 4 hours of research. And I put together a list of some of my favorite OST singers. And actually, I reached out on Discord, and you guys came through and put in quite a few. But for this episode, I'm only going to talk about 8. I don't think this is going to be a very long episode, but I definitely think I will eventually. The way that I've done it and that I've kind of formatted it, I think I can come back and do this episode again, but with a different set of OST singers. And that's quite exciting that I've like managed to sort of find a way. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be talking about some of my favorite OST singers and then some of my favorite songs that they have sung and which drama it's from as well. Now, just a couple of like caveats before we get into this. I have stayed away from from actors and actresses. So I know very well that people like Zhao Lushi and, Bai Lu and even, Xiao Zhan and all of those actors and actresses, they also sing OSTs, but I've stayed away from them. I really wanted this to be about the people that we don't hear that much about, except for one person. There is only one exception for this, and I feel okay with him because he started off as an OST singer. So because he started off as an OST singer, I feel comfortable to put him in this episode. And he's like the first one on my list, and he's probably like one of my all-time favorite OST singers. So there was no way that I could do this episode without him. So, and I gathered most of the information from Wikipedia. Now, some of these singers, I have more information than others. That's just the way that, it kind of crumbles, the cookie crumbles. Some of them are a little bit more reserved and there's just not a lot of information available out there. And others, you can get a bit more information. So this is kind of like what I managed to gather. I gathered most of this from Wikipedia because it was like the easiest setup. And then I basically went from Spotify to YouTube to Wikipedia to like match all of the songs and figure out what they were called in English. It was a whole, by the end of it, I had this down to a patch, but it took me a little while to get there. So I've grabbed a coffee. I didn't want tea because it's like, guys, it's so incredibly cold in the UK, but it's sunny today. Like the sunshine is shining. So I can get away with that, but it's only like 8 degrees today and it actually says it feels like 1 degree. So that's a lot of fun. So that's like, 40 degrees in Fahrenheit. So it's blooming cold. So I've grabbed myself a salted caramel coffee with, it's not really a coffee, it's kind of like more a latte than anything else, and I'm ready to get started. So I've waffled enough. Now, the first person that I said was the exception for this, it had to be Lu Yuning. Like, this guy is one of my all-time favorite OST singers. Like, if he does an OST song, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like it. He's been around for a little while, and the thing is, he's started doing a lot more acting roles. But he started off as a OST, like as a singer. So I'm just gonna go through what the Wikipedia says for him. So it reads Lu Yuning was born 8th of January 1990, is a Chinese singer, actor, and the lead singer of Modern Brothers. In 2018, Liu rose to stardom by his covers on platforms YY Live Streaming and Douyin. So Douyin, I don't know about YY Live Streaming, but Douyin is basically Chinese TikTok. And released his solo debut single Imagination on September 15th, 2018. He released his debut studio album 10 in 2019 and held his first concert tour Growing Storm in 2019. Forbes China listed Liu on their 30 and the 30 Asia list in 2019. His debut album won the Media Recommend Album Award at the 2020 Chinese Top 10 Music Awards, and his second extended play listen, Ning 2020-2021, won the most popular EP award in 2021 Chinese Top 10 Music Awards. Besides singing, he also gained recognition as an actor through his roles in television series. So this guy has, I think, out of everybody on my list, I believe he has the most sort of wide range. And by range, I don't mean like musical range. I mean he will do a ballad and he will do a rock song. Like, this guy just will dip into all genres, and I love that about him. Also, we get this thing where I hate it. So everybody, like, every time he does a drama, everybody kind of like the same thing comes about where people say that he's not pretty enough, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. First of all, I think he is very good looking. I just don't think he's like idol good looking, but he's still ridiculously good looking. I don't understand if they don't find Yuning as like a good looking guy. I dread to think what they would consider a lot of average people. But either way, I think that's something that always comes up. Now, what I really adore about him, he is very about his fans, and he still does a lot of live streams. And when he does live streams, he will just crack out the karaoke machine and sing a bunch of his songs and other songs as well. And if you've ever watched a Lu Yuning live stream, it is so much fun. Like, this guy just has fun with fans, and he will just serenade you all of these songs, and you will always have the best of times watching one of his live streams. So I really enjoy him as an actor. I really enjoy him as a singer. And he's like sung for so many OSTs. Like, also he has a very distinct voice, I believe. So I think you will know straight away when it's a Lu Yuning song, I think. So some of my personal favorite songs from him are, first of all, it's called Ask Heaven, and it's from Word of Honor. This song is so good. It's so good. It's Lu Yuning. It's kind of like has a rockier feel to it. But it suits his voice style. He can have almost like a rasp to his voice when he chooses to, and then when he does ballads, he has like a very soft voice. So I just love this song. This was one of my what I believe came out in 2021. This was one of my most played songs for that year. That's how much I loved it. So then next up on personal like favorite songs that I really enjoy from him. The second one is Unintentional Big Dream, and that is from Fangs of Fortune. Now, this is another thing, guys. I may not be watching the drama, but because you kind of so, being a content creator in the sorts, especially when it comes to Asian dramas, you kind of just become aware of the OSTs floating around because people will share them. So even if I'm not watching the dramas, a lot of the time I still know about the songs. Fangs of Fortune is one of those. It's not a drama that I'm watching. I don't think I plan on watching it. But I have heard this, and it's called Unintentional Big Dream. And first of all, let me just say, um, sides, hate sides apart, I really think Fangs of Fortune has a really good OST. I've sort of listened through it over on Spotify, and it does actually have a really good OST. Even if I personally don't want to watch the drama, OST aside, the OST is pretty good. And this one is a lot of fun. It's a Liu Ning song, and the thing is, it's like a rap song, which is something that I personally haven't heard from Liu Ning, and I'm like, this is so much fun. I really, really enjoyed it. So that's that one. And, and that is something that I mentioned. A lot of these songs might be from dramas that I haven't necessarily watched, but just because you haven't watched the drama doesn't necessarily mean that you can't enjoy the OST, I think. I'm very much one of those. I don't necessarily have to watch the drama to really enjoy the OST. So yeah, next up on my Lu Yuning personal favorite OST songs, there is The World I Love. This is a song from Till the End of the Moon. It is a much softer song. And I think like these five ones that I've picked for him really truly show like his range and his how he dips into many pots in the sense that he chooses different genres according to the drama itself. So that's one I really liked. And then I have one called A Vow to You. This is from The Starry Love. I adored this song. It was so incredibly good. And then lastly is probably my all-time favorite Lu Yuning song. It's called Colored Glass. It is from the drama Love and Redemption. And not only does this song live rent-free in my brain, I pretty much know a lot of the words to it, just like I know from the one from Word of Honor. These two are probably my most listened to songs from Lu Yuning when it comes to OST songs. Colored Glass from Love and Redemption played at every like big scene in Love and Redemption. And I swear to God, as soon as I listen to the first bars of that song, I am thrown right back into that drama. And I think that to me is such a peak good OST when you are just thrown straight into that world just by listening to the song. But that's not it. I mean, Lu Yuning he's done an OST for the story of Pearl Girl. He's worked on Beautiful Lies, Kill Me, Love Me. He's done The Rise of Ning, Melody of Golden Age, A Lovely Hero's Journey, Interlaced Scenes. And this is all just from 2024. I don't know how this guy like finds the time. He did Follow Your Heart, Heroes, Men in Love, The Truth Season 2, In the Name of the Brother. These are all 2024 dramas, and it keeps going. And I find it fascinating that this guy, not only is he acting, but he also finds time to do all of these OST songs. So that is Lu Yuning. I truly, truly adore him as an OST singer. He's one that I follow on Spotify. And like I said, every single one of these songs that I mentioned today are in the Tea and Soju OST Spotify playlist, which I will link down in the episode notes. I regularly update this playlist with new OST songs that I'm listening to and that I'm enjoying. And like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be songs that I from dramas that I'm currently watching. It can be just one that I kind of came across over on Spotify and I decided to add it over onto the so let's move swiftly along to the next person on my list. The next person is called Zor Chen. He is, guys, first of all, this guy is hilarious. He does a lot of variety and he's been in, I believe it's Keep Running, and he does it with like Bailu is also a regular cast member on there. Those two together, they're so freaking funny. But let's get into, Zhou Shen's Wikipedia kind of description. So, Zhou Shen, born September 29th, 1992, also known as Charlie Zhu, is a Chinese singer known for his ethereal voice and wide vocal range. Guys, when I tell you this man has a wide vocal range, like he can hit some of the freaking highest notes. And also, this may sound, I hope this doesn't come across as like bad. I really truly do. That he almost sounds, when I first heard him, I thought it was a woman singing. I honestly thought it was a woman singing because, first of all, he has this very beautiful voice. But second of all, he hits the freaking highest notes. So I was like, oh my gosh, who's this woman? And then like I was shocked to find out that it was a guy. So I his vocal range is truly insane. It's insane. So it goes on to say he gained prominence with his renowned song Big Fish, which has garnered 8 awards. In May 2024, he released his second album, Shen Self, and sold over 1 million digital copies in a week. He has performed OSTs for numerous high profile Chinese films and TV series, including Big Fish and Begonia, Zhang Zia, and The Wandering Earth 2, among many others. When I say many others, guys, it truly is many, many others. He won the MTV Europe Music Award for Best Greater China Act in November 2019. In August 2020, he ranked 42nd in the Forbes China Celebrity List of 2020. The ERC Chinese Top 10 Awards named Zor the most popular male singer of 2021 and 2022, and the best male singer of 2023. In August 2022, his Douyin online concert, I Want to Be By Your Side, attracted over 140 million viewers. His 9.29 HC 10th anniversary concert tour began in May 2024 in stadiums across China, with tickets selling out within seconds after release. Since 2022, he has been a cast member of the popular Chinese variety show Keep Running. So that's what I was mentioning. He's part of the Keep Running crew. And if you haven't watched Keep Running, it's one of the funniest variety shows that I've ever watched. You get a lot of celebrities going through, but you also have celebrities being part of the cast. Wang Hedi, or Dylan Wang, was part of the cast a couple of years ago, but now we have Bai Lu, and we have a couple of others that go through. But honestly, he's so funny. Zhou Shen on there is truly hilarious. His laugh is very contagious, and also he's a lot shorter than a lot of his other people. So I just have a lot of fun watching when my mind is very, very overwhelmed and I can't focus on any dramas. This is what I go back to. I go back to Keep Running and to variety shows. And so Keep Running is also super easy to access. You can access it over on YouTube with English subtitles. So I highly recommend you check that out. But all of this to say that Zhou Chen is such a highly established and highly accomplished singer. This guy is just so incredibly good. I don't think I can describe how good his voice is and how, like, even if when you watch him live, he is so on key. And it's like, it's one of those people that you stop and you listen and you kind of like, it's just beautiful to listen to his songs. So highly, highly recommend you check him out. He's all over my my OST playlist. Some personal favorite songs from him. First of all is Borrowing a Dream. That is from last year's The Story of Kooning Palace. Again, he does these like runs where he starts off in his lower register and then he ranks it right up to his highest register. It's insane, guys. His range is just insane. And, I am not a what's the word I'm looking for? I am not a well versed, I'm not a music teacher. I don't know any. I just know a couple of terms from watching a lot of like YouTube videos and kind of like people explaining what certain things are. But I'll have to ask. So I'm mutual friends with someone who is a music teacher, and I'll have to like show her. I think she might be listening. Her name's Laura. Hi Laura. She might be listening to this episode, and I'll have to get her to listen to some of these songs because she is a music teacher, so she will know what the heck she's talking about. So I'll have to like get her to check out some of these singers and see what she thinks. But that's the first one. And then I have Be Together, and that is a song from The Sword and the Brocade. Next song is Month by Month, which is from Song of the Moon. Song of the Moon, I actually dropped that drama, but I really liked that song. We have Clearly, which is from The Legend of Zhu Hua, which I did not finish. Did I even start it? I cannot remember if I actually even started that one, but I really like that OST song. And then the last one is Excuse Me, and that is from Joy of Life. And I believe it's from the second season. See, I watched season 1 and season 2 almost like virtually back to back. So songs get a little bit confusing, but I think this one is from Joy of Life season 2. So those are just some of my personal favorites of his. This man has a heavenly voice. That's all I can say. Moving right along, we are on to our third OST singer. And when I say OST singers, these singers are just singers in their own right, but they tend to do a lot of OST songs. So next up we have Mao Bo Yi. Mao Bo Yi, born October 1st, 1994, birth name Wang Weijia, is a Chinese singer and songwriter. Mao rose to prominence for winning the all-male singing competition, The Coming One, in 2017. Mao is a self-taught pop artist known for works depicting the subtle nuances of everyday life. He has released 4 studio albums to which he authored all lyrics and compositions. Mao's discography also includes over a dozen theme songs for original soundtracks for television dramas, movies, and video games. So Mao is slightly different in the sense that he is self-taught. Like, he taught himself everything, and he does a lot of all of his lyrics and compositions are all done by him, which I believe is similar to all of the artists that I'm going to talk about. To some degree, they kind of do their own work a little bit, so I really enjoyed that about them. But Mao Yi is just one of those that I really, really enjoyed him. I like his voice. He does ballads a lot more. He does like these softer songs that really do go with like subtle nuances of everyday life, like the Wikipedia was saying. So I really enjoy his style as well. Some of my favorite songs from him. The first one has to be Unsullied. It is an Ashes of Love OST, and my goodness, it's one of my favorite OSTs from Ashes of Love. I truly loved it. So you bet that's on my, like I said, all of these are on my OST playlist. If there's one that you can't find or that you need, if you think, I want to listen to that song, but I don't know what it matches up to on the Spotify playlist, send me a message and I can just send you the link for that specific song that you're looking for. So next up is I Will Stay Here. This is from the beautiful OST to Go Ahead. You guys know I love Go Ahead, and I believe it has such a beautiful, beautiful OST, and this is one of the ones that I truly adored on there. Next up, I have Above the Peak, which is from The King's Avatar. I have not watched The King's Avatar, but I really liked this OST song. Similarly, with my next pick, which is Years from Ancient Love Poetry. I was not a fan of ancient love poetry, even though it's a xianxia, and even though it's a shukai drama, it wasn't for me. I didn't really like the styling. I didn't really buy the main couple, so I let it go. But I did watch, I really enjoyed this particular song, so I had to add it in. So next up is Shen Shu Ran. And although most of the things that I've gathered information from tend to be from Wikipedia, for Shen Shu Ran, I actually went with the MDL description. He has an MDL page, and I went with that. And also, if you guys are listening to this episode and you're thinking, Liliana, where are the ladies? I've split the episode, okay, guys? It's 4 guys, 4 women. So we have an equal split. So that's, we'll get to the ladies in a minute. The MDL description for Shen Shu Ran reads: Shen Shu Ran is a Chinese music producer and singer born in Nanjing, Jiangsu province, China. He grew up in Beijing and graduated from Beijing University of Aeronautics and Astronautics. So we have a very smart cookie in our midst. This reminds me of like Zhang Linghe so much. In 2013, he went to the Berklee College of Music in Valencia, Spain, to study film music production. In 2015, Shen Shuran set up his own music studio, NEM Studios, in Hollywood to produce music for the film and television industry. He also produced music for musical games and record companies. Makes sense, and this is like not part of the MDL description. This is like a commentary from me, and I sort of said it makes sense. Some of his music has almost like a Hollywood West feel to it, but in a good way. He uses English lyrics quite a few times. He's done so much stuff, including like some stuff for the West, because obviously his studio is in Hollywood, but he still does a lot of work for like Chinese dramas. The first one on my list is probably my all-time favorite of his. It is so incredibly good. I have not watched this drama. This is on my to watch list. I will get to it. And it is the track We Won't Be Falling Down, and it's from the drama Guardian, which is like based on a BL. I really want to watch this drama. I'm gonna get to it at some point. This track is just so incredibly good. Like this, if you listen to this, you will know what I mean by it has like a Hollywood West feel to it, because it's very grandiose of a track. It's like almost like an orchestra playing. It's beautiful. Like it's such a good song. So that's We Won't Be Falling Down from the Guardian drama. Next up, he did like almost all of the Lighter and Princess OST, but I wiggled it down to just 2. I picked 2. The first one is Upside Down from Lighter and Princess, and the next one is King and Knight from Lighter and Princess. King and Knight. So Upside Down is kind of like a more softer, almost a ballad song, and King and Knight is like your more upbeat, used for more, what's the word I'm looking for? It's probably used for more tense scenes. Love it. I love King and Knight so much. It's a really, really good track. And then I also picked Black and Red from Checkmate. I dropped the drama. I loved the OST. And then the last one is The First Ray of Sunlight. This is from Go Go Squid 2, DT and Apple Dog's Time. Personally, I preferred Go Go Squid 2, but that's just a me thing. So that is the track that I went with. So like I said, his style is more like grandiose and more like Western feel to it almost. But he is very, very good. I really liked him, like his songs. So that is all the guys. We are moving on to the ladies. It's time to move on to the ladies. Now, the first one, it just had to be this singer because my God, she's just so incredibly good. Like, anytime I see a video of hers singing one specific song, I get goosebumps every single time without fail. And that is the amazing Sa Ding Ding. Not only is this woman incredibly talented of a singer, but she's also incredibly talented of like a composer and whatnot. And she does a lot of organizing OSTs, and I adore her. So her Wikipedia page reads Sading Ding, born Zhou Peng on the 27th of December 1983, is a Chinese folk singer and songwriter. She is of mixed Han Chinese and Mongol ancestry and sings in languages including Mandarin Chinese, English, Standard Tibetan, as well as an imaginary self created language to evoke emotions in her songs. She also plays traditional instruments such as gutzhang and modin kur. So, all of these kind of add up to her having a very unique kind of singing and a very unique feel to her voice. Like, straight away, if you're familiar with Sa Ding Ding, you know straight away it's a Sa Ding Ding song. So I love her. I think also because she did songs for Ashes of Love, and one of her songs in Ashes of Love is actually one of my all-time favorites from the OST. Um, it means that I've been listening to her for ever since I started watching, dramas, Asian dramas in general. So I really really like her, and like that song from Ashes of Love is called Upwards to the Moon. Guys, do yourselves a favor and just type into YouTube, Upwards to the Moon, Ashes of Love sang live. Trust me, you will not regret watching it. It is so incredibly good. I adore it. I truly, truly do. And then from her as well, I love If You Come Back, and that is from The Long Ballad, The Starry Love from The Starry Love. And that song, guys, it took me forever to figure out what the English name was, and that's what I came up with. Apparently, it is The Starry Love. So I don't know what to tell you. The next one is actually called Leaping Fish, and that is from the Blue Whisper, which I haven't finished, but I do want to go back and finish that one. And then lastly is one that isn't even, the drama itself isn't out, but they've released like the OST video for it, and it is called Flowers Fall with No Trace, and that is from the upcoming drama Moonlight Mystique, which I cannot wait to watch because it is a Bailu drama, so I'm very, very excited. So that is it's available. It's actually already available on Spotify, which is crazy because it always takes forever for anything to be up on Spotify. So yeah, that is Sa Ding Ding. She is brilliant. Like, all of these people that I'm talking about are very, very good. There's a few standouts to me, and Sa Ding Ding is that stand. Like, I adore her. I truly do. So the next one up is Zhang Bi Shen. So Zhang Bi Shen, born September 10th, 1989, also known as Diamond Zhang, is a Chinese singer. She was a member of the South Korean girl group Sunny Days. In 2014, she won the Chinese singing contest The Voice of China. Zhang was born in Tianjin, China on September 10th, 1989. She studied for undergraduate studies. Zhang attended Tianjin Foreign Studies University with a major in French. So she's kind of like more less unknown. There wasn't like a lot of information that I could readily access. So that's kind of like all I have for her. She's done a lot of songs for a lot of very popular dramas. One of them being Dream Candle Clothes, and that is from the Fangs of Fortune OST. We also have Black Moonlight from Till the End of the Moon, and that is actually sang with somebody we've already spoken about earlier on in the episode, and that's Mao Boyi. Um, we have Bracing the Chill, and that is from 10 Miles of Peach Blossoms, and that is a song she sings with Aska Young. And then we have Direction of Light, and that is from The Long Ballad, and probably her most known song would be the last one that I'm going to talk about, which is You Are My Only Wish, and that is from Hidden Love. Now, I think she's probably one of the ones that I don't know that much about, and I enjoy her OSTs, but she's not one of those where I can pick out that it's her singing. She doesn't have like a very unique voice or anything like that, but her OSTs are always nice and I do enjoy them. So I thought it would be quite nice to have her on my list. So next up we have Jane Zhang. Now, she's probably one of the most accomplished women that I have on this list. So I actually have her description is quite long and it's from Wikipedia. So, Jane Zhang, born October 11th, 1984, is a Chinese singer, songwriter, and a record producer. She is known for her signature use of the whistle register and has been dubbed the Dolphin Princess. Zhang began performing as a teenager by singing in pubs to help earn money for her family. After singing with Huai Brothers Media Corporation, in 2005, Zhang released her first studio album, The One. Her second album, Update, was released in 2007. Zhang's third studio album, Jane at Music, was released in 2009. Her fourth studio album, Believe in Jane, was released in 2010. In 2011, Zhang released her fifth studio album, Reform, which was certified double platinum by the International Federation of Phonographic Industry. Jane performed in 2017's Victoria's Secret show and was featured in Oprah Winfrey's show. Her single Dust My Shoulders Off topped iTunes fourth and first in music video. She was invited and attended the Grammys twice. She was the judge for the Montreal International Film Festival. She has over 40 million followers on China Twitter Weibo. Twitter, like just Weibo, guys. Do not why are we calling it Twitter? Everybody's mad about Twitter right now, right? Oh, I have to fit this in. This is a complete side rant, but I am so frustrated because I really want to quit Twitter. Like I don't want to use it, but there is like 3 accounts where I get all of my like Chinese drama updates and they don't really have backups. They are only on Twitter and I can't find I've gone over to Blue Sky. So guys, if you're on Blue Sky, come and chat to me. But I can't find a good like Chinese drama update site anywhere else. So if you have that, please send it my way because I would love to find some alternatives so I can ditch Twitter because I'm just mad about it. Carrying on, just Weibo. Let's just call it Weibo. She has 40 million followers on Weibo and won 7 times of China Best Female Artist. Zhang released her first English language studio album, Past Progressive, in 2019. Zhang has received numerous awards, including 9 Beijing Pop Music Awards for Best Female Singer, 2 China Gold Record Awards, and an MTV Europe Music Award. She has been included in the annual Forbes China lists from 2006 to 2013. So this is what I mean by she is such a well-established singer, and not just in China but also abroad. She is very well recognized abroad as well. I really like her. I love her songs, and some of my favorites from her include Pearlescent. I can't say that word. Pearlescent. Guys, it's from the story of Pearl Girl, and it's called Pearlescent Light. Pearlescent. I can't say it. I'm just gonna leave that in. You're just gonna listen to me struggle with that word. So that's currently airing as I'm recording this episode, and I really, really like it. I have The Story with Love from The Story of Kuning Palace, which you guys know I loved The Story of Kuning Palace, and that song is very beautiful. I have the song Eiga Wood from Immortal Samsara, which she sings with Zhang Ji. I have the song Heartbeat Once in a Lifetime, and that is from the drama Novo Land Pearl Eclipse, which I have not watched. And then we have Weary of Spring Flowers, and that is from the very recent drama Kill Me, Love Me, which I started and I did not finish. I dropped it and I'm not mad about it, to be honest. So that is, some of my favorites from her. And like I said, you can find all of these over on the Tea and Soju OST playlist. So lastly, but last on my list is one singer that came about and blew up because of one OST song. And by blew up, I mean she became way more recognizable all of a sudden. And that is the singer Faye. So her Wikipedia reads Zan Wen Ting, known professionally as Faye, is a Taiwanese singer and businesswoman. She is the former lead vocalist of pop rock band FIR, who won Golden Melody Award for Best New Artist in 2005. In 2017, Faye made her solo debut with the album Little Outer Space. In 2021, Faye released her second album, Zai Yun Say Shang Tiao Wu Ji Ji Zaza. Jeez, that is a long title. So that is she was kind of difficult for me to find information on her. But when I tell you the song she sings, you will know exactly who I mean. So the first song that I have for some of my favorite songs of hers has to be Farewell Love, and that is the theme tune from Love Between Fairy and Devil. Now, everybody and their mother knows this song. This song kind of became an anthem when it came out, especially, and it wasn't just in China, it was abroad as well, but in China specifically, everybody was listening. There was videos of students in lockdown at their doors kind of singing this song, and it was just everywhere. I adore this song. It is so beautifully written. It is so beautifully sang. I just adore it. I really, really liked it. So that is, I think, her most well-known song, and I think that's kind of the song that really threw her out there. But some of my other ones that I like of hers are Despite a Lifetime of Wisdom, and that is from The Double, which I loved, and I love The Double. So that's a song from there. We have Only Love, which is from the drama Love You Seven Times, which personally I dropped, but it is a drama that I really enjoyed it as well. So not the drama. I really enjoyed the song. I didn't just enjoy the drama, so I dropped the drama, but loved the OST. And then, lastly, on my list for her, I have Wilderness Chronicles, and that is from the Tiger and Crane drama. Now, unfortunately, this is the only song on every song that I've talked about that is not available on Spotify. I have searched it high and low, and I cannot find this song on Spotify. I can only find it on YouTube. But if you type Tiger and Crane Faye song into Google or YouTube, you will come across it if you do want to check it out. And it's called Wilderness Chronicles from the Tiger and Crane OST. But yeah, it's just one of those that I cannot find it on Spotify. So let's talk about that a little bit. So Spotify is incredibly frustrating. And it's not just Spotify, it's Apple Music, it's YouTube, it's all of the sites. A lot of them will only have the titles in Chinese. Now, if you don't write Mandarin, or if you don't read it or speak it or whatever it may be, it becomes quite hard to find the songs. But if you type in, a lot of the time there is some beautiful people out there doing God's work, and they will just put all of the songs into one OST playlist. And by that I mean, if you type in Love Between Fairy and Devil OST on Spotify, there will be a playlist with all of the OST songs that are available on YouTube. And the same goes with pretty much all the other dramas. Now, obviously, there are dramas that just will not be available on there. But for the most part, if you type in the drama name, you will be able to find the episode, the OST playlists. Like I said, for today's episode, I made sure, guys, every single song that I have talked about will be on the TN Soju OST playlist. The only thing is, first of all of the names will be in Chinese, except some people. So Zhou Chen is one of them. The name will be written in English. But for the most part, everything is like written in Chinese characters, so it's quite difficult to find them. But also, because they don't want to make it easy on us, a lot of the time the artwork for the picture does not have like the drama name, and it doesn't have anything that kind of connects to the drama, which makes it difficult to find. But if you at any point heard me talk about a specific song that you really liked or that you want to listen to, but you can't find it on the playlist, please just, holler at me on one of the social medias, and I will be more than happy to kind of like send you the link for that specific song. And I think that's it, guys. I think that is the episode. Let me know in the comments what are some of your favorite OST singers, and that can be, Instagram comments, Spotify comments. Let me know, and I will keep a list, because I think I would probably like to do another episode like this. If you guys enjoyed it, please let me know if this format was something that you liked. Because I would really like to know, like, if this episode bombs and none of you like the format, there's no point me going in and doing another episode. So please, please, please let me know if it's an episode that you enjoyed, if there's something that you'd like me to add in. If not, I would really, really appreciate that. And I hope you've enjoyed it. I had a great time. Even though it took me forever to research it, I also really enjoyed it because I was listening to all of these songs that I really, really liked. So I had fun, and that is it. I hope you guys have liked this episode, and I shall catch you next time. Bye.